This was the largest city in South America, built entirely from sand and water, home to 60,000 people in the middle of a desert. And then an empire arrived and erased it. The year is 1450 AD. You live in Chan Chan, the capital of the Chimú Empire, the greatest city on the Pacific coast of South America. 6 square miles of adobe walls, palaces, temples, and workshops. Everything here is made from mud brick, no stone, no wood, just earth, water, and sun. The walls rise 3 stories high, decorated with fish, birds, waves, art carved into dried mud. From above, Chan Chan looks like a maze. 10 walled citadels, ciudadelas, each one a city within the city, royal compounds, administrative centers, elite residences. The common people live outside the walls in smaller adobe neighborhoods. You are Chimu. Your people have ruled this coast for 600 years. Before the Chimu, the Moche built cities here. Before them, others. This desert coast has seen civilizations rise and fall for millennia. But Chan Chan is the greatest. The culmination. The empire stretches 600 miles along the coast, from Ecuador to central Peru. Tens of thousands live in this capital alone. You wake in your adobe home, the air is cool. The coastal desert never gets truly hot. Fog from the Pacific keeps temperatures mild, but it almost never rains. This is one of the driest places on Earth. The sun rises over the Andes Mountains to the east. To the west, the Pacific Ocean. Between them, this narrow coastal desert. And somehow, in the driest place imaginable, your ancestors built the largest city in South America. The question everyone asks, how? How do 60,000 people survive in a desert? The answer, water, engineering, genius. Your civilization mastered the impossible. The greatest mystery of Chan Chan isn't the walls, it's the water. You walk to the sunken gardens, huachaks in your language. Rectangular plots dug 6 feet deep into the desert floor, down where the underground water table is close enough to reach. Plants grow here without irrigation. Their roots reach down to moisture in the sand. Squash, beans, corn, growing in one of the driest deserts on Earth. This is Chimu genius, working with the desert instead of fighting it. But the sunken gardens aren't enough for 60,000 people. You need the canals. The Moche River flows from the Andes. Your ancestors built a canal system that diverts water from the river. Miles of channels, aqueducts, reservoirs. The water travels through the desert to Chan Chan. The system requires constant maintenance. Engineers check the canals daily, remove sand, repair cracks, control the flow. One break in the system and entire neighborhoods lose water. You see workers repairing a canal section, adobe bricks replacing eroded ones. The work is endless. The desert wants to bury everything. Only constant labor keeps the city alive. Water determines everything. Who lives where? Who farms what? Who has power? The royal citadels have elaborate water features, decorative pools, fountains, a display of wealth and control. If you control water in the desert, you control life. The ocean provides another resource. Fish. You see fishermen preparing their boats. Totora reed rafts, the same design for centuries. They'll paddle into the Pacific, catch fish, return to feed the city. Chan Chan exists because of 3 things: mountain water, ocean fish, and human engineering. Remove anyone and the city dies. But there's a problem. A slow, creeping problem that nobody talks about openly. The canals are silting up, faster than they can be maintained. The river is less reliable than it used to be. Droughts are becoming more common. And the Inca Empire has a different system. They don't build massive coastal cities in deserts. They build in the mountains, where water is abundant, where the land is fertile. When the Inca conquer Chan Chan, they won't maintain the canals. They'll abandon this desert capital, move the administrative center to the mountains, Cusco, their capital. Chan Chan's death is already written, not by war, by water, or the lack of it. But today, the canals flow, the gardens grow, the city lives, and you have work to do. You work in the artisan quarter, metalworking. Your specialty is gold. Chan Chan is famous for gold, not because of mines. Gold comes from the rivers and conquered territories. But because of craftsmanship, Chimu goldsmiths are the finest in South America. You work with sheet gold, hammering, embossing, creating ceremonial objects, masks, earrings, headdresses. Each piece tells a story. Ocean waves, fish, birds, the natural world that sustains the Chimu. The technique is called repoussé, hammering from the back to create raised designs on the front. Delicate work, precision. One mistake ruins hours of labor. Your workshop is small, adobe walls, a clay furnace, simple tools. But the results are extraordinary. Gold work that will survive centuries. Pieces that will end up in museums, admired by people who don't even know the Chimu existed. Other workshops produce textiles. Chimu weavers create intricate cloth, cotton from coastal valleys, wool from highland llamas, dyes from plants and minerals. The textiles are as valuable as gold. The elite wear these textiles, elaborate tunics, headbands, cloaks, status displayed through clothing. The more intricate the weave, the higher the rank. The royal citadels host ceremonies. The ruler, the Chimu king, lives in luxury. Servants, advisors, priests, the government functions. Justice is administered. Tribute flows in from conquered territories. Religion permeates everything. The moon is the supreme deity, more powerful than the sun in Chimu belief. The moon controls the tides, the ocean, the fish, life itself. Temples honor the moon. Priests perform rituals, sacrifices, offerings, maintaining cosmic balance. The afterlife matters deeply. When rulers die, they're buried in elaborate tombs, along with servants, wives, treasures, everything needed for the next world. These burial practices will doom Chan Chan. When the Inca conquer the city, they'll loot the royal tombs, strip the gold, desecrate the sacred spaces, not out of cruelty, out of conquest. Erasing the old power, establishing the new. But that's future. Today, the Chimú Empire feels eternal. 600 years of dominance. Generations who knew only Chimu rule. How could it end? How could something so established simply disappear? Easily. Empires always fall. Civilizations always collapse. Chan Chan is no different. You finish your gold piece, set it aside. Tomorrow more work, more creation, more beauty forged from metal and skill. You have no idea you're living in the final chapter. The ocean feeds Chan Chan as much as the land. You walk to the beach. The Pacific stretches to the horizon. Cold, rich, teeming with life. The Humboldt Current flows north from Antarctica, bringing nutrients. The water is freezing but incredibly productive. Fishermen launch their boats. Caballitos de Totora, little horses of reed. Single-person watercraft made from dried Totora reeds bundled together. Light, fast, surfable. The design is ancient. The Moche used these boats, possibly civilizations before them. And today, modern fishermen still use the same design, unchanged for over 1,000 years. You watch a fisherman paddle out through the surf, standing, balancing. The boat rides the waves like it's alive. He disappears beyond the breakers, heading to deeper water. The fishing is good. Anchovies, bonito, sea bass. The ocean provides protein for tens of thousands. Without this resource, Chan Chan couldn't exist. Women prepare the catch on the beach, cleaning, salting, drying. Fish preserved for storage, for trade, for tribute. Trade networks extend up and down the coast. Chan Chan's location is strategic, between north and south, between mountains and ocean. Goods flow through here, spondylus shells from Ecuador, precious, used in religious ceremonies. Worth more than gold in some contexts. The Chimu control the spondylus trade. Highland products come down. Potatoes, quinoa, llama wool. Lowland products go up. Fish, cotton, peppers, exchange, economy. The empire functions through trade. This pattern, coastal empires controlling trade between land and sea, appears throughout history, and each time, a stronger power eventually takes control of those trade routes. If you want to witness another maritime civilization at its peak before conquest, the Phoenician city of Carthage in 146 BC, hours before Rome burned it to the ground, subscribe. Because controlling the sea means wealth, but wealth attracts conquerors. For now, Chan Chan controls the coast, the fishing fleet, the trade routes. The wealth flows through adobe warehouses, but the Inca see this wealth. They want it. Their mountain empire is powerful but landlocked. They need coastal resources, warm climate crops, ocean access, fish. Chan Chan is the prize, the key to the coast. Take Chan Chan and you control everything north and south. The Inca strategy is forming, not yet visible, but coming, like the tide, inevitable. You see merchant boats arriving, goods from distant cities, news from the empire's edges, the world beyond Chan Chan, the world where the Inca are conquering, city by city, getting closer. The stories the traders tell are frightening. Inca military efficiency, organized conquest, resistance crushed. But Chan Chan feels safe, protected by distance, by desert, by the ocean. What army could cross hundreds of miles of desert? What power could threaten the greatest city on the coast? The answer: an empire larger than anything the Chimu imagined, an organization beyond their experience. The Inca aren't raiders, they're builders, empire builders, and they're coming. The news from the south gets worse. Traders arrive with reports. The Inca have taken another Chimu city. The empire is collapsing from the south, city by city, like dominoes falling. The Inca Empire is different from the Chimu, not a coastal power, a mountain empire. Based in Cusco, high in the Andes, their capital sits at 11,000 feet elevation. The Inca are warriors, organized, disciplined. Their army moves like a machine. They don't just conquer, they absorb. Conquered peoples become Inca, forced into the system. Labor, tribute, service. The Chimu tried to resist, failed. The Inca army is too strong, too well organized. Inca warriors are used to thin air, high mountains. When they descend to the coast, they're faster, stronger. The Chimu soldiers struggle to fight at high altitude. The Inca don't struggle at sea level. It's an unfair advantage. Geography as weapon. You see guards on the walls, more than usual, watching the hills to the east, looking for scouts, for signs of Inca approach. The fear is quiet but real. Conversations stop when strangers pass. People hoard food. Craftsmen hide valuables, preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. The ruler tries to maintain calm. Public ceremonies, displays of power, messages of strength. But the messages ring hollow. Everyone knows the truth. The Chimú Empire is dying. Chan Chan will fall. It's just a matter of when. Some propose resistance, fight to the last, make the Inca pay for every inch. Others propose negotiation, surrender peacefully, preserve the city, save lives. In the end, the Chimu will choose negotiation. The ruler will meet the Inca emperor, submit, become a vassal. Chan Chan will be absorbed into the Inca Empire without a major battle. It seems like a wise choice. Better than destruction, better than slaughter. But the outcome is the same. The Chimú Empire ends. Chan Chan becomes a provincial city. Unimportant. The Inca move the regional capital to the mountains. The desert city is abandoned. Within a generation, Chan Chan is empty. The canals fall into disrepair. The walls begin to erode. The sand reclaims what the sand created. You stand on a wall, looking south, wondering if today is the day, if the Inca scouts will appear on the horizon, if your life is about to change forever. The sun sets behind you, casting long shadows. The city looks beautiful in the golden light. The adobe walls glowing, the geometric patterns creating art with shadow and light. For a moment, you can pretend everything is fine, that Chan Chan will stand forever, that your children will live here, and their children. But deep down, you know, the end is coming, slowly but inevitably. Like the desert sand, time buries everything. The Inca arrive, not as conquerors at first, as diplomats, an embassy, representatives of the Inca Emperor Pachacuti. They enter Chan Chan with ceremony, gifts, proposals, join the empire voluntarily, avoid bloodshed, serve the Inca, prosper. The message is clear: resist and be destroyed, submit and be absorbed. The Chimu ruler faces an impossible choice: fight and lose, surrender and survive but lose everything anyway. He chooses survival. Negotiations begin. Terms, conditions. The Chimú Empire becomes a tributary state. The ruler keeps his title, for now. But real power shifts to Cusco. Inca administrators arrive. Accountants, engineers, soldiers. They assess Chan, catalog the wealth, organize tribute collection. The Inca use a system called mita, labor tribute. Every able-bodied person owes the empire work, road construction, building projects, military service. The Chimu are now part of this system. The change is gradual at first. Chan still functions. Markets operate, workshops produce. But the direction is clear. The city is no longer the capital of anything, just another place under Inca control. Inca culture begins replacing Chimu culture. Language, religion, art. The sun god becomes supreme over the moon goddess. Quechua language spreads. Inca styles in textiles and ceramics replace traditional Chimu designs. It's cultural erasure, slow but deliberate. The Inca don't destroy civilizations outright, they absorb them, assimilate them. Within a generation, the Chimu identity will fade. The royal tombs are looted. Inca officials claim the gold, not as theft, as tribute. The wealth of the Chimu belongs to the Inca now. The most skilled artisans are relocated, forced to move to Cusco, to work for Inca nobility. Your gold-working skills are too valuable to leave in Chan. You and dozens of others are marched to the mountains. You'll never see Chan again. The canals begin to fail. Without constant maintenance, the desert wins. Sand fills the channels. The sunken gardens dry up. The water system, the miracle that made Chan possible, collapses. By 1470, Chan is in decline. Population dropping. People moving to the mountains, following the new power. The coast is the past. The Andes are the future. The great adobe walls still stand, but the city inside them is dying, slowly emptying, becoming a ghost. The Inca will rule for less than a century. In 1532, the Spanish arrive. Pizarro conquers the Inca. The empire falls. But Chan is already gone by then. Abandoned decades earlier. The Spanish never see the Chimu capital in its glory. They see ruins. The irony, the Chimu built in adobe, mud brick, it doesn't last. Stone endures, adobe erodes. The Inca built in stone, Machu Picchu, Cusco, Sacsayhuaman, those survive. Chan, the greatest city in South America, crumbles. The desert reclaims its sand. The ocean mist erodes the walls. Time erases the Chimu. 20 years after the Inca arrive, Chan is a shadow. The population has dropped from 60,000 to maybe 10,000. Still inhabited but dying. The great citadelas stand empty. Royal compounds abandoned. The elite have moved to Inca administrative centers. The common people remain longest. Where else would they go? This is home. Generations lived here. Families are buried here. Leaving means abandoning ancestors. But practical reality wins. No water means no crops. No crops means no food. No food means no life. The last residents make hard choices. Pack what they can carry, leave everything else. Walk away from homes that stood for centuries. You, if you had stayed, would be among them. Walking through empty streets, adobe houses with doors open, possessions left behind, too heavy to carry, too worthless to matter. The workshops are silent, no hammering, no weaving, the kilns are cold, the looms are empty. The city that once hummed with activity is quiet. Wind blows through the corridors, sand accumulates in corners. The desert, patient and relentless, begins its work, burying, eroding, reclaiming. The walls start to crumble. Rain, rare but devastating when it comes, melts adobe. El Niño events bring floods. The mud brick dissolves, the carved friezes fade, the art disappears. Within a century, Chan is ruins. Locals avoid it. Superstition grows. The ghosts of the Chimu, the cursed city, stories replace history. The Spanish arrive in 1532. By then, Chan has been abandoned for decades. They see the ruins and wonder what civilization built this. The locals can barely explain. The Chimu are already fading from memory. Spanish chroniclers document what they see. Massive adobe ruins, evidence of sophisticated culture, but no people, no language, no culture, just empty walls. The looting begins. Treasure hunters dig through the ruins, looking for gold, finding some, destroying more. Archaeological vandalism that will continue for centuries. In the 1960s, archaeologists begin serious study, excavating, documenting, trying to understand the Chimu, piecing together history from ruins and artifacts. UNESCO declares Chan Chan a World Heritage Site in 1986, protected, preserved, but still eroding. The Adobe can't survive forever. Even with protection, the desert is winning. Today you can visit Chan Chan, walk through reconstructed sections, see the carved friezes, the massive walls, the scale of what once was. But it's a ghost, a shadow. The real Chan Chan, the living city with 60,000 people, bustling markets, golden workshops, is gone forever. The Chimu language is dead. No one speaks it. The culture is extinct. A few artifacts in museums, some ruins in the desert. That's all that remains. The largest city in South America, reduced to tourist attraction. Today, the walls still stand, but the people are gone, and no one remembers their voices. Chan Chan sits on the Peruvian coast, 20 minutes from modern Trujillo, a city of 800,000 people. But Chan Chan is empty, only tourists and archaeologists. The adobe walls rise from the desert, 3 stories high in places, the geometric patterns still visible. Fish, waves, birds, carved by hands that turned to dust centuries ago. The scale is overwhelming. 6 square miles of ruins, 10 royal citadelas, thousands of smaller structures, all built from mud and sun. Preservation is a constant battle. The same forces that built Chan Chan are destroying it. Water, wind, time. Rain melts adobe. Wind erodes surfaces. El Niño floods damaged structures. Archaeologists work to preserve what remains, stabilizing walls, protecting carvings, documenting before it disappears completely. But adobe can't last forever. Unlike stone, which endures millennia, mud brick dissolves. Even with modern conservation, Chan Chan is temporary. In a few centuries, it may be completely gone. The Chimu left no written records. Everything we know comes from archaeology and Inca accounts. And the Inca, conquerors, weren't interested in preserving Chimu history accurately. So the Chimu story is incomplete. Fragments, glimpses, enough to know they were sophisticated, advanced, powerful, but not enough to truly understand them. What did they think about? What stories did they tell? What songs did they sing? What jokes made them laugh? Lost. Forever. The Spanish chroniclers documented what they saw, but they saw ruins. They talked to people who barely remembered. Second-hand history. Distorted. Incomplete. Modern scholars piece together what they can. Excavate, analyze, interpret. But interpretation isn't truth, it's educated guessing. The Chimú Empire lasted 600 years. Chan Chan stood for centuries. But the civilization is extinct, the language is dead, the culture is gone, only the walls remain. And those walls are temporary, melting back into the desert, returning to the sand and water that created them. In 1,000 years, Chan Chan might be completely erased, just a footnote in history. A few artifacts in museums, a Wikipedia entry, that's all. The lesson: civilizations are fragile. Even the greatest cities fall. Even the most powerful empires collapse. Nothing lasts forever. Chan Chan was the largest city in South America. It shouldn't have existed, a metropolis in one of the driest deserts on Earth. But it did, for centuries. Until it didn't. The desert took back its sand. The ocean took back its moisture. Time took back everything. You can still walk through Chan Chan, stand where 60,000 people once lived, touch the walls they built, see the art they carved, but you can't hear them. You can't speak with them. You can't know them. The largest city in South America, reduced to silence. The sand remembers, but the sand doesn't speak. In our next journey, we'll witness another sand city the conquistadors found. But this one, they destroyed while it was still alive. Tenochtitlan, 1521. The Aztec capital's final stand against Cortés.